This is a Swift Siena Accent. Going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, you've got the jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake, and your power lead to the car. In the front locker, you've got your gas bottles with your 2 gas bottle tie down, so maximum 2 6kg propane gas bottles on board the van. You've then got your gas changeover valve, so you can have 2 gas bottles connected at any point. You can change this valve over to change the side of the side of the gas system you are running from. On top of the bottle, you've got your gas valve, as you'd expect to see. Pipework that goes into the bottle is a reverse thread fitment. Outside the van, you've got your already heating flue for your heating and hot water systems. You never cover that up, you leave it open. Then down below, you've got your wind down legs to stabilise the caravan, and they are only there for stabilising, they are not there for lifting the van. If you lifted the van with these, it could potentially damage the floor of the caravan. You've then got your water pump connection. Pull the blue tag back and pull the pump back, and then push it in and lock the pump in place to put it inside the van. And you've got your pickup pipe that drops down inside the alcohol itself. Battery box on the side of the van, you've got your mains power lead coming into there. You've got your power lead coming into the side of the van, and your battery, on top of the battery you've got your 2 connections, and then you've got your motor mover power switch behind there also. Motor mover will demonstrate that to you in person here on site, and we'll also torque the wheel nuts so you can see they've been tightened correctly. The fresh water that goes in the front has to come out somewhere, and you've got 2 grey waste pipes at the back of the van, where you'll have to put your 2 bits of grey pipe into, and they'll drop down inside your waste master. At the back of the van, you've got your water fill tank for the flush system, 3.5 litres of water in here, and a cap full of the pink fluid. In the bottom, you've got your toilet waste cassette, which you release by pulling up the orange handle and pulling the cassette towards you. The neck here turns out so you can tip the waste away, and you've got a grey measure cap there that allows you to measure the blue fluid before you put it in the cassette. Orange button on the back of the cassette is so you can tip the waste away without the waste spitting and splattering back at you. On the back of the van on either side, you've got your wind down legs to stabilise the caravan, and again they are only there for stabilising, not lifting the caravan off the ground. Coming down the side of the van, you've got a locker for accessing the storage underneath the bed. Your fridge vents, which allow hot air at the back of the fridge unit, so it keeps cool. It also takes some cool air in. And behind one of those is a gas flue, also for the gas systems on board the van, for the gas operation of the fridge. Got a 3-pin socket coming out to the awning, and that will allow you to run power out to your awning. You've then got your telly box, so essentially there's a telly bracket in there, so you can connect your telly up as you need to. You then got your storage locker for underneath the bed at the front of the van, and your barbecue gas point. When you come onto the inside of the caravan, above the door you have your main control panel, so you've got power on. You've got your awning light, internal lights for above the cabinets, and your roof lighting. And then you've also got your dimmer level, which you can adjust for the lights above the cabinets on the front, left and right hand side of the van. At the bottom you've got your water pump run, which I'll come back to in a moment. To fill the water system up on the van, once you've got the aqua roll connected on the outside, it's a very simple procedure. Just turn the pump off above the door again. You can come to each tap on board the van, open them all up on the hot side, whether that is the shower or the sink, so you open them all up on the hot side. And then you're going to come underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the van. And under here you will find a yellow valve next to the motor mover control boxes. Now that yellow valve you need to make sure is parallel with the floor before you start filling the water system up. If it's upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat, the water system will be drained down completely, and we do advise doing this after every trip of using the caravan. Once that yellow valve is parallel with the floor, you can then come over to the control panel above the door, and you can turn on the water pump. Once the water system's full, you'll have water running out of every tap continuously on board the caravan, and then you can shut each tap off once that system is full and water is coming out of every tap. At that point you'll be able to start thinking about warming the water on board the van. So the control panel on the left hand side above the door, you've got on here, you've got your current room temperature and you've got power coming into the caravan. Press the menu button. At the top here you've got your temperature internally on the van, so you've got plus or minus, as you can see. Below that you've got your hot water, so you've got hot water on and hot water boost when you're showering on board the van, so you've got hot water on, like I said. And if you're showering, you'll need to put it onto boost. This bar is completely full. If it's halfway up, it will just be hot water. Below that, you've got an option to select the amount of power that is coming into the caravan. Now, each caravan site will be different, and the only way you'll know what power source you can run it on is by asking the site office when you arrive. So you've got off for your mains power coming into the caravan. You've got 1 kilowatt, 2 or 3. I'd imagine most sites will be capable of powering 3 kilowatts, and that'll run your heating and hot water system on the most efficient power setting. However, if you're on 1 or 2, don't worry, it will still warm up. It may just take a little bit longer than on the higher settings. If you want to run your heating and hot water on gas, you need to make sure the gas bottle's turned on in the front locker. You'll then press the gas option down here on the bottom left hand side, and that will allow you, like I said, to warm up the heating and hot water on gas. On the bottom right hand side here, you have your advanced options, and for those we do advise you read the manual that comes with the caravan. The reason being, if I went through all those in the video, it would take me 2 to 3 hours to complete the video. So that's your main control panel for the caravan, your heating and hot water for the caravan, your drain down switch underneath the right hand side of the van. Above the cooker and hob, etc., you have your microwave. Now the microwave will only work when you are on 240 volt mains. So you need to make sure it's turned on at the 240 supply, and then that'll allow you to use the microwave. The same with the 240 electric ring on the back of the hob. If you only have gas available, then obviously the hob will also run on gas, but the electric ring won't work off the 12 volt, it is 240 only. The same as the oven and grill, they are gas only with your igniter on the front of the cooker. In the cupboard above the fridge, you've actually got your aerial. To get the aerial into place, you loosen off this fitting at the top, push the aerial up, lock it into place with the fitting again, and then you can adjust the angle of the aerial on top of the van by winding the blade as you need to. Always make sure that's tightened up and in the right correction before you travel, because if it spins around it could potentially do damage to the roof of the caravan. Also, always remember to put the aerial setting onto max, and the blue light indicates it is turned on. You can turn off the power supply just on the right hand side here above. Next up, we're going to go through the fridge. Now the fridge will work on 3 power sources. It will run off a 12 volt supply. However, that isn't the 12 volt supply from the caravan. That is the 12 volt supply from the car you are towing with. So as you're going down the road, essentially, you can turn the fridge into a cool box so that when you are traveling, you can get the beers and wine nice and cold. Now to turn the fridge on and off, you've got a power button on the left hand side. Turn the fridge on. You've got mains, 240 volt coming into the caravan, and then you can use the button on the right hand side to control the temperature. You've got the option to run gas. Now at the moment the gas isn't turned on, hence why it's failing to ignite and it is flashing the control panel at me like mad. If the gas was to ignite, this light here would go blue, solid blue, and that would mean it has ignited, and you wouldn't have a red flashing light on the opposite side. If you're towing down the road, you can turn the control panel off above the door. As long as you connect it to the car and you've got the right connection on the car, you can come inside the caravan and hit the 12 volt mode. Now again, that is just indicating to me that we have no power supply coming to the fridge unit on board the van from the 12 volt system. Freezer box you can remove. Underneath there is 2 tabs, you can pull them in, and the same on this side. Then the freezer compartment itself will pull out completely to make the fridge bigger. Temperature control for the fridge on mains or gas is on the right hand side here at the top, but like I said, the freezer compartment can also be removed to make that bigger. In the bathroom, the last thing we go through on the van is the toilet system. In the bathroom you have the toilet, as you'd expect to see. On the top left hand side here you have a full indicator light that lets you know when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. You have the flush button here in the centre, which is for the flush system for the toilet. The toilet seat does turn for your convenience. However, when you're removing the waste cassette from underneath the van, you need to make sure that is pointing straight across towards the toilet, because if it isn't, you will not be able to remove the toilet waste cassette from underneath the van. Below the toilet, you also have your grey waste handle. Again, if this is open when you're trying to remove the cassette from underneath the van, it will stop you from doing that because it will lock the cassette in place. We do advise when you're using the loo to open the flap up prior to using it, so it allows the waste to go straight into the cassette. So that is the Swift Siena Ascent. If you have any further questions on the van, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company and we'll be more than happy to help. We thank you for the business and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon when you collect your caravan. Thank you for now. Bye bye.